Hey everyone, welcome back. Before we get into this video, I want to first talk about Operation Olive Branch. This is a non-profit grassroots organization dedicated to providing essential support to refugees. They have launched several projects and sponsorships to help refugees in Gaza and Rafah. For as little as $18, you can sponsor just one blanket for a person in need. It may not sound like a lot, but it will make a huge difference. All the information will be linked below in the description box. And for the record, I am not getting paid by this organization to say this, nor am I monetized. I am doing this because I can and will continue to do so. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. I appreciate the time you took to listen. Welcome to the first episode of City Notes, where I take you on a walking tour of filming locations in New York City. In this video, I will be showing you locations from the movie You've Got Mail that took place in the Upper West Side. Just two things to note: the film took place in 1998, so much of these places are either closed or no longer exist. I try my best to show you as many as I could find. Secondly, with respect to the movement that I am a part of, there will be one location I will list at the bottom, but I won't show here. Other than that, let's get started. Beginning with the opening scene of the movie, we see Joe and Caitlin walking out of their respective apartments and off to their jobs. Joe's apartment building, 152 Riverside Drive, is actually not a real address. The building he is exiting is located on West 93rd Street and Riverside Drive. It is part of a very quiet residential street. The awning you see in the movie is actually a prop that was built just for the movie. As we all know, NY 152 had to come from somewhere, right? Caitlin's apartment building, which is actually a townhouse located south of Joe's on West 87th Street between West End Avenue and Riverside Drive. Though I believe the inside of her actual apartment was a set, the movie uses this specific townhouse facade to indicate that this is where Caitlin Kelly lives. There are so many scenes in the movie that take place along this street, it will become instantly recognizable when you rewatch the movie. Both Caitlin and Joe are seen walking down West End Avenue as the opening scene progresses. The street awnings of 505 and 515 West End Avenue are actually real addresses. This section in the movie takes place between West 85th Street and West 86th Street. As the movie progresses, Joe Fox takes his brother and his aunt, his quote-unquote American family, to a fall street festival taking place in the Upper West Side. The movie sets up the scene on West 94th Street between Columbus Avenue and Central Park West. This is one of the few streets in the Upper West Side that has stone bricks on the road. So before I move on, note that these are all residential places on various streets throughout the Upper West Side. If you're looking to view these spots, please be respectful of those living in the neighborhood and the surrounding community. Fun fact: Caitlin's bookstore, Shop Around the Corner, is an ode to a real children's bookstore located in downtown Manhattan called Books of Wonder. The exterior of the bookstore took place in front of 106 West 69th Street between Columbus Avenue and Broadway. During the filming of this movie, the store at this location was called Maya Sharper's Cheese and Antique Shop, which sadly closed in 2008. Now it's a LeMode Organic Cleaners. Though much of the exterior has changed, I'm glad the new owners have kept that iconic and familiar window on the outside. Remember when Caitlin shares her optimistic view of Fox books to Birdie over lunch? That scene took place at Barney Greengrass, located on Amsterdam between West 86th Street and West 87th Street. This deli/brunch spot has been in business since 1908. I definitely recommend coming early if you want to catch a spot to eat and get a glimpse of the inside. One of the most notable scenes between Joe and Caitlin take place in none other than Zabar's, a local staple in the Upper West Side located on Broadway between 80th Street and West 81st Street. This is a two-story grocery store that has so many things. The cheese section, I must say, is my absolute favorite here. Another iconic meeting spot between Joe and Kelly took place in what was formerly known as Cafe Lalo. Sadly, this cafe closed around 2020 and has remained vacant ever since. The facade of the building is still there, though the inside is completely abandoned. It was definitely one of my favorite spots to grab some dessert, and I was so sad to learn that this place closed when I returned to NYC. I hope whoever or whatever comes next in that building decides to honor the classic interior and exterior of what it was, because during its prime, it was absolutely beautiful. Anyway, continuing on, Caitlin and Christina visit Birdie in one scene and pass by West 110th Street and Riverside Drive. This is another quiet residential street located actually in Morningside Heights, which is, I don't know if I would call it the Upper West Side. To me, it's always been a part of Harlem. So, moving on, Caitlin and Frank have a movie date night scene that is filmed inside this AMC movie theater located on West 68th Street and Broadway. At the time, it belonged to Sony and it was known as the Lowe's Theater. The mural that is seen in the movie as they enter is open to the public and can be viewed pretty much for free. There is a lot of history and interesting features to this theater that I won't get into this video, however I do recommend checking this place out and watching a movie or two here. So, still on the Caitlin and Frank scenes, Caitlin and Frank have an honest conversation about their relationship inside what is now called St. James Gate. This is an Irish pub that was established in 2007. However, you can still see the window seat that the scene took place in. I'm not sure what restaurant was here during the filming of the movie. I will say that brunch here was absolutely delicious. Next stop is the 79th Street Boat Basin, where Joe Fox and his father somehow end up side by side. There used to be a restaurant leading into the marina, but it closed down in 2021. Another sad thing I learned that closed when I came back to NYC. Residents along the docks, those living in their boats, were asked to leave because the whole area was actually slated for maintenance in 2023. You can still walk to see the docks, but the restaurant is sadly closed off and demolished, and there are no boats anymore along the docks. Saving some of the best for last, the 72nd Street 123 subway station may not look exactly like the scene in the movie, but that is because it has gone through several renovations since 1998. The station feels like a whole other character in the movie, especially when it plays such a big role at the end. It's honestly where all of my favorite Joe and Kathleen scenes take place. Sadly, there is no farmers market at this location on the weekends. Doesn't mean you still can enjoy a stroll through its small little park. Now we can't forget this iconic spot right next to 72nd Street subway station. This is a great papaya and the last one in all of NYC. It is where Joe and Caitlin meet up in that one scene for lunch. Though the prices of the hot dogs have gone up since 1998, it's still worth it and still good in my opinion. I wanted to show you one more residential street between West 78th Street and Broadway. It is where Joe delivers his heartfelt, if only, iconic speech. Last but not least, the West 91st Street Garden in Riverside Park. If you know the movie well, you know exactly the scene that I am referring to. This is actually a community garden that is regularly kept and maintained by residents in the neighborhood. The garden is accessible via the West 91st Street and Riverside Drive entrance to the park. As Joe says, there is a bend that leads to a small garden. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Feel free to let me know what you think or if there's anything else you'd like to see. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon!